Ever wondered how a simple word like no can influence the trajectory of your startup? This two-letter word holds more power than you might think. In the world of business, and particularly in startups, no is not just a response. It's a tool, a strategy, an assertion of value. It's the line in the sand that sets boundaries and maintains a strong stance. Let's delve into this. Saying no in negotiations is not about being obstinate or difficult. It's about understanding your worth, your limits, and the value of what you bring to the table. When you say no, you're not simply declining an offer. You're communicating a message that you know your value, that you respect your time and resources, and that you expect others to do the same. Think of no as a tool in your negotiation toolbox. In a bargaining scenario, no can be a powerful lever to tilt the balance in your favor. It shows that you are not desperate, that you are willing to walk away if the deal doesn't meet your expectations. This in turn can often lead the other party to reevaluate their stance and come back with a better offer. Setting boundaries is another critical aspect of saying no. In a startup, resources, be it time, money, or manpower, are often limited. By saying no to tasks, projects, or deals that don't align with your startup's goals, you can channel these resources more effectively towards achieving your vision. And then there's the respect factor. A well-placed no can command respect, showing that you are not a pushover, that you have a clear vision and the resolve to stick to it. This can be instrumental in establishing your startup's reputation in the market. So the next time you find yourself in a negotiation or decision-making scenario, don't shy away from using the power of no. It could be the difference between a good deal and a great one, between surviving and thriving, between being just another startup and becoming a market leader. Understanding the power of no is the first step towards mastering the art of negotiation. One of the world's most successful companies, Apple, provides an excellent case study on the power of no. Apple Inc., a name that virtually every person on this planet recognizes. A brand that has become synonymous with innovation, quality, and design. But did you know that a significant part of Apple's success can be attributed to a simple two-letter word? No. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, was a master of saying no. He had an unwavering vision for Apple, a vision of creating products that were not just good, but exceptional. And to achieve this vision, he had to say no more often than he said yes. Jobs once famously said, "Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things." He believed that the key to Apple's success was focusing on what truly mattered and eliminating the rest. He wasn't interested in following the crowd or adhering to industry norms. Instead, he wanted Apple to pave its own path, to be a trailblazer. One of the most significant decisions that Jobs made was to say no to licensing Mac OS, Apple's operating system. At the time, this decision was considered highly controversial. Other tech companies were licensing their operating systems left and right, hoping to reach a wider market. But Jobs was adamant. He wanted to maintain Apple's brand integrity and product quality. He believed that by licensing Mac OS, Apple would lose its unique edge. And boy, was he right. By saying no, Apple managed to carve out its own unique path in the market. It created a whole ecosystem of products that were tightly integrated and offered unparalleled user experience. This decision to say no has made Apple what it is today, a tech giant with a market cap that exceeds the GDP of many countries. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where you need to make a tough decision, remember the power of no. Remember Apple. Remember Steve Jobs. By saying no, Apple has managed to carve out its own unique path in the market, and look where it stands today. Airbnb, the home-sharing giant, is another perfect example of the power of no. Let's take a trip down memory lane, back to the early days of Airbnb. The founders, Brian Chesky, Joe Gebbia, and Nathan Bleckesik, were approached with acquisition offers that would have made them millionaires overnight. But they had a vision, a belief in their business model's potential that was unwavering. They envisioned a world where people could travel and stay in homes rather than hotels, experiencing a local's perspective, and this vision was unique, something they knew was worth fighting for. When faced with the lure of quick money from early acquisition offers, they said no. They held on to their dream, their vision of what Airbnb could become, and they refused to sell. This decision wasn't made lightly. It came with its own set of challenges. They had to face financial pressures, market uncertainties, and fierce competition. Yet they stood their ground. They believed in the potential of their business model, and they were willing to take the risk. Fast forward to today, Airbnb is a global phenomenon. It's changed the way we travel and made a significant impact on the hospitality industry. It operates in over 190 countries, offering more than 7 million listings worldwide. Its current valuation? Over $100 billion. Just imagine if the founders had said yes to those early acquisition offers. They would have missed out on building one of the most successful startups of the 21st century. It's a vivid example of how saying no can lead to unimaginable success. But it's essential to remember that saying no isn't about being stubborn or inflexible. It's about having a clear vision, a deep belief in your startup's potential, and the courage to stand by it, even when the chips are down. Airbnb's success story is a testament to the power of saying no in negotiations, even when the offers on the table are tempting. So the next time you're faced with a decision, remember Airbnb. Remember the power of no. But why does saying no work so well in business negotiations, you might ask? Well, let's explore this a bit. Firstly, saying no has a profound psychological impact. It's a strong, assertive word that signifies the boundary of one's comfort zone. When used correctly, it can assert dominance and command respect. It's not about being rude or dismissive, but rather about clearly stating your stance and showing that you're not afraid to stand your ground, even in the face of potential opportunities. This leads us to our second point. No establishes respect. It demonstrates that you're not just a pushover who will agree to anything. You have standards, you have boundaries, and you're not afraid to enforce them. This is particularly important for startups. In a world where everyone is trying to take a piece of your pie, being able to say no can be a game changer. It shows that you're serious about your business and that you won't compromise your values for a quick buck. Moreover, the power of no can also steer negotiations in your favor. It might seem counterintuitive, but think about it. When you say no, the ball is suddenly in the other person's court. They have to come up with a better offer, a more tempting proposal, something that will make you reconsider. This gives you the upper hand and the opportunity to guide the negotiation towards a deal that suits your needs. Lastly, no can be a tool for startups to maintain control and set the terms of their business deals. Especially in the early stages, startups can feel pressured to say yes to every opportunity that comes their way. But saying no allows you to dictate the terms of your business, to decide what's right for you and what's not, and to steer the ship in the direction that you want it to go. In essence, no is a powerful tool that allows you to control the narrative of your business journey. To wrap it up, let's summarize the main points we discussed today. We've embarked on a journey exploring the potency of a simple two-letter word, no. This journey has taken us through the corridors of two of the world's most successful startups, Apple and Airbnb, and their strategic use of no in negotiations. We underscored the importance of saying no and its significance in startup negotiations. The power of no is not just about rejection or refusal, rather, it's a strategic tool to articulate value, maintain integrity, and most importantly, to establish boundaries. When rightly used, no can be a startup's best friend, helping it to avoid unfavorable deals and to steer clear of ventures that could potentially harm its growth trajectory. We then turned our lens to the inspiring stories of Apple and Airbnb. We saw how Apple, under the visionary leadership of Steve Jobs, harnessed the power of no to stay true to its core values and vision, often rejecting proposals that did not align with their ethos. We also delved into Airbnb's journey, where the founders courageously said no to traditional business norms, leading to the creation of a revolutionary business model that has since disrupted the hospitality industry. The key takeaway from these stories is that saying no is not an act of defiance, but a strategic move to safeguard your startup's interests. It empowers you to reject anything that doesn't serve your startup's mission and vision. Moreover, it shows your commitment to your values, which in turn builds trust with your stakeholders. So, as we close, I encourage all startups to consider the power of no in their negotiations. Use it as a tool to define your boundaries uphold your values, and make strategic decisions that will drive your startup towards success. Remember, the power of no could be the key to your startup success. Don't be afraid to use it when necessary.